Alright, y'all. So let's talk Power Book 2 4. Power Book 4 Force Season 2 Episode 2 Great Consequence. In this episode, the main things that happened were Tommy goes to meet up with Miguel to do a drop. And as soon as they get ready, first of all, when he goes to meet up with him to do the drop, some guy standing out there and was like, let Tommy know that he knew somebody that knew Julio. So he recognized Tommy from New York. And so then Tommy goes up to Miguel. And once he get close to Miguel and shake hands, a drive-by happens. Tommy gets hit. Miguel gets his guys to take Tommy inside after the shootout is over. And I still don't know her name, but Miguel's sister patches Tommy up. We see somebody banging somebody out. Diamond. He got his whole back tattooed. It looked good in his lighting, the tattoo. Tommy comes downstairs and interrupted. I think this happened before the shootout, though. And the woman that Diamond is with, he tells her to put stuff on, and he had to take care, finish up with her later. He got to take this conversation or whatever, because Tommy's like, we need to talk like right now. So they have a conversation or whatever about Chewy. That's his name, Chewy. And Diamond is like, you can't just be doing that. Like, you gotta let me know what you up to. And he wasn't even worth it. Like, this can start a war between us. Like, we're gonna be infighting. Even though me and Janelle are not cool right now, but this gonna cause us to be having infighting. Because those dummies out there, they listen to Chewy or whatever. So Tommy like, listen, I don't like disrespect, and I don't like what did he say? Insubordinate people and stuff like that or whatever. And Diamond was like, but you all here, you want to shoot. Like, it ain't about fighting all the time. You got to think bigger. You got to think about the bag. And then that's what Tommy was like, you sound like my old partner. He used to say that all the time. He said, my old partner and Liliana. And Diamond also mentions, like, you got to chill on the Flins and trying to. We going to get to the Liliana thing eventually. But, what's right now is getting this money. So we see some cops out there on the crime scene when Tommy, that's what it was. Tommy Tommy went to Diamond after he killed Chewy. The cops are still on the scene of Chewy's murder. That old man that played the saxophone, he out there at one end of the alley playing the saxophone. There's people out there behind the police line looking at them doing their investigation. Some cop tells the homicide detective, I asked them, and nobody wants to give me any answers. But you know that's how those people are. And he like, what do you mean those people? Those people over there that don't trust her? He said, you realize why? He basically was like, you realize why they don't trust you, right? And you gotta come down here and not look at them like that, and try to build a rapport, a relationship, where they'll be feeling you'll find one that might be willing to talk to you, basically, he says. So he walks away from him and he walks down the alley. And as he walks down the alley, the sex man put his sex up and put it on his shopping cart like he gonna walk away. And he approaches him. And he was like, what, did you see something? And the man basically said, I ain't no snitch. But when the cops started peeling off the money, he said, well, it's a war going on. The CBI boys did split up, and Chewy went committed treason and told one man he was going with them, and then committed treason and went with the other one, and that's why he got killed. I said, God damn, Pops. Soon as he broke you off some greenbacks, you just told everything. You just ran your mouth, didn't you? But that happened. Pop's go on about his business. Vic's still walking around looking crazy. He drinking himself to death at this moment. He ain't good to nobody or nothing. He's still grieving. Walter has a conversation with him. First off, Walter meets with a pharmaceuticals rep or whoever this man is. The I recognize him, but I don't know from what. But I know I watched something else that he didn't play that. And I said I was going to try to Google that cast and see if I can see what his name is and see what he played in. But I just ain't do it yet. But this guy tells Walter, sell these, like he got some products, some pills, the opioids, and but don't sell them in our communities. So Walter like, yeah, we're going to go sell it in the black community. I said, what the fuck? And I think the man said something about the stuff was bad. It was a bad batch. I think that's what he said. So this when Walter goes back and has a conversation with Vic. Tell Vic he gonna make him he putting him in charge of this project. He want Vic to go and make a way to sell these drugs, do stuff. Vic is like, no. I'm not going down on the south side to the CBI messing with Tommy or none of those people down there. I'm not doing it. You want me, he like, I'm trying to leave you a business and this and that and so forth. And Vic is like, listen, you want me to go and do this stuff, but really you need to put a pawn in the game, not me. Why would you put me in harm's way? I'm not going to be your pawn. You got to find somebody else. So next thing you know, we see him go and have a conversation with Claudia. Walter, that is. Walter tells her she need to do the sisterly thing and go check on her brother. His head not in the game and this and that and so forth. And then he tells her she can be the one to go and do this whole stuff with the opioids and all that kind of stuff like that. She like, good, because Vic don't have the balls to do stuff like this. So then we see somebody else having a sex scene. It's Claudia, and I believe the guy's name is Brendan that Walter had a meeting with the week before, and he owes Dublin. Of course, Claudia having sex with him. She on top, and I'm just like, she ain't just randomly having sex with this guy. She wants to know something. So she gets off of him, and she starts going in with the questions. She trying to find out how much do Walter owe Dublin, and how serious are they about collecting. And he told her, listen, I ain't supposed to be saying anything, but I can't give you a figure, but let's just say if your father don't make good on this, because your father bleeding money out the ass right now, if he don't make good on this, he can end up with his head chopped off. She like, all right. We see Janard and them two guys that was working for him. Not Nuck. We ain't see Nuck from The Shine this episode. But we see them talking about Janard has a meeting with all of them. He knows that Chewie dead by now. So they have a meeting and he tell them they practicing shooting. He tell them they have a target practice basically. And he tell all of them that Chewie dead and he know that Tommy did it. And he got money for the first person to take Tommy out. So they like, all right, bet. So it's one in particular like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. I don't get it because I don't trust him anyway. So next thing you know, we see Diamond pull up. They check Diamond, let Diamond go in and talk to Janard. Diamond go in there and say, Janard, you got too much other stuff that's more pressing than trying to take out Tommy for what Chewy did. Don't think I don't know it was you who sent um Reg, because I don't even remember what Reg's name was. Don't think I don't know it was you who sent him to the barber shop to kill me. That's how low you going? You want to kill me, your brother? And you tried to kill Tommy, and you ended up shooting his fucking nephew. So you're not good with trying to take people out, basically. So you need to focus on the task at hand, getting Miguel his fucking money, and getting the thing together with Merkovich. And he like, you sick Merkovich on me, because we had both already made the deal that Merkovich was getting those blocks. And Diamond was like, I don't care. You already set things in motion with Tommy when you tried to take him out and then tried to take me out. You better call your boys off, because you cannot afford an all-out war right now. You don't have the manpower. You better focus on getting that money. Diamond leaves. Janard look dumb. The young guy come back in, and he tells them, listen, did that shit about Tommy for right now. We got more pressing issues. And the one young guy like, what? We got ride for Chewy. Chewy was this and that and so forth. He like, no, that ain't the, no. That's not what's urgent right now. We gonna do what I say do. I'm the leader of this crew, basically. So that young guy is pissed off. So he go to the gym with I think her name's Stacy or Stassi, and he hitting the bag and he venting about what Janard said to her. And in the meantime, she just listening. In the meantime, we see Merkovich approach Janard and say, you gonna keep giving us money every couple of weeks until you pay us back the money that you owe us and make good on your promise to give us them streets and them corners or whatever. So he orders the boy to give Merkovich some money. And then when Merkovich leaves, the boy said, I thought this was the money to pay Miguel. Like, how you gonna replace the money? I'm like, dang, Janard, you done got yourself in a whole lot of ish at this point. Vic is at some bar getting drunk. Claudia comes in, has a conversation with him, and from this conversation, he just like whatever. He get mad. He walk away from her. They ain't gonna be partners no more. He sees the kind of person. He told her, "You just like Dad. You just like him." Um, he goes. We see him get out the car, go into a little liquor store. People in the line. He go to the back, opens the bottle, starts to drink it. It's some young lady back there, and giving him them eyes like we can do something. So they go slip into the back of the store and lock the door. And they think the store clerk or the owner not paying attention. She pulls his pants down. She starts to give him a blow. The owner come bang on the door like, what are y'all doing back there? So Vic pushes her away, pulls pants up, they come out. He talk ish, and he puts the gun to the store clerk. Told him empty the drawer. I said, so now you gonna be a stick up kid? Is that what you doing, Vic? A stick up kid though? He tells the store clerk, give the girl $50, and he leaves the bar. He in the car, he driving, he drunk. He get pulled over by the cops. They say roll your window down. And he throws, they tell him to throw the keys out the car, out on the ground. He do that. He get out the car And he like, do y'all know who I am? I'm Walter Flynn. I'm Victor Flynn. And they just looking like, and he starts to walk towards. He went to pull something out the bag, and they tase him, and that's the black cop tases him, and I seen on TV in real life where they had tased him at all. For us, it would have been gunshots. Oh, I thought he was getting a gun. I feared for my life. They would have shot him up. They probably would have shot him up as he was trying to get out the car, even though they already directed him to get out of the car. But anyway, so he gets arrested. Tommy get patched up by Miguel's sister. When Tommy's leaving Miguel after being patched up, a car pull up. It's another old school. An older lady get out. Supposed to be an older lady. Tommy speaks to her, give her a compliment. She rolls her eyes and don't respond. He said, okay. And he walks off. He got a tank on. And when he come out next to Miguel, we see how pale Joseph Sikora really is. He is pale. He need to go to the beach and tan a little bit. But the older lady, Miguel addresses her as abuelita, which means grandmother in Spanish. Hugs her. They get in the house. They talk. She's like, who's that white devil you was with? And she's asking him about the business, make sure business is good and everything. She told him, you better not trust him. He was like, I don't, but he did look out for me today. She said, and why is that? Like, what does he have planned down the line? And so I said, oh, so she the one who really in charge. She's the one who really in charge, huh? The grandmother. But the crazy thing is, as I'm watching this, and I might have to go back and watch it again. As I'm watching it, him and the grandmother look like they in the same age group. I'm so for real. Like, I was looking like, she don't look like she the grandmother. She look like she the same age as him. And sidebar, the guy who played Miguel, guess what he was on? When I looked up the cast, because I was trying to figure out who the Brendan guy is, the guy from Dublin. When I was trying to figure out who he was, I went to the IMDb for the show, and I saw that the guy who plays Miguel, because I said he looked familiar too, he was on Snowfall. Remember the season when Franklin and them got kidnapped? Who was that? Franklin and Oso. When they got kidnapped by the Mexican gang members, and they went back to their house, and they had them in there. And that he was the one. He was the main one. He was standing up. He was the main one with the house or whatever when they got kidnapped that day. But that's him, yeah. But anyway, he had the conversation with the grandmother. So I said, oh, so the grandmother is the one who's running things. Okay. So she said she's gonna cook him something to eat. Next thing you know, we see he as in Miguel, he goes to a club. Looks like a pool hall. He sits down with someone else. And they talk about the fact that it was a drive-by and they got shot at. And they said it was the Serbs. But those people in them cars looked like they was Asian or something. They didn't look like Serb to me. And I think I saw a girl in one of them. But he told this man, is this man, the actor playing this man, is this the same guy that's played in so many other things? He was in Colombiana. If this is the same guy, he was in Colombiana with Zoe Saldana. He was in, was that one of the Fast and was that Fast and the Furious when they called, oh my God, what is his freaking name? The actor. Laz Alonso. When Laz Alonso was playing like the Spanish gang member or whatever, and they called him the Spanish word for devil or whatever. And this man was like the leader of them, and they was like in the middle of a field, and they went through some tunnels and stuff with the cars and all that kind of stuff. I think this is that same guy playing the man that was in charge of them then. I think this is the same guy that's playing this role on Force. I went down a whole rabbit hole, but wait a minute, let me look right here. So I'm looking for it, but I'm still talking to y'all. So anyway, we find out that Miguel is just a soldier, as this man says, and that if he don't do what he's supposed to do and get it done, he going to take Miguel's sister, rape her, take her to Mexico, let all his men take a turn with her, and then after they finish taking their turn with her, he going to slit her throat. I was like, oh wow. So now, of course, that lit a fire under Miguel. And then next thing you know, Tommy has a conversation with Diamond about the fact that they got shot at by the Serbs or whatever. And he, of course, he saying how he want to leverage what just happened and him being there for yep, I was right. It was Fast and Furious that Lance Alonso was in. 2009 Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious 4 is what it was. But let me see. The actor's name is John Ortiz that I'm speaking of. Is this the same man that was the boss of Miguel in that club? Because he said something about the cartel and all that. I was like, oh shit. But anyway, Tommy, first of all, Diamond is in the barbershop cutting hair. And his daggone parole officer come in. And I said, oh God, here we go. And then Tommy comes in and was like, I got an appointment. And trying to take up for Diamond, and the parole officer was like, well, he got an appointment with me first, and he takes Diamond in there to make him do a urine sample. And then he sends Tommy a text like, that's my PO, something something. So Tommy like, oh shit, let me get the fuck out of here. So Tommy leaves. Also, while all this is going on with the drug dealers, we see the federal cops talking about they want to get a task force. Dre from The Shire, her character's name in here is Stacy. So the girl at the boxing gym, that ain't her name. Her name's something else. But Dre's character's name is Stacy. Apparently, she must have used to work for the Chicago PD, and she filed a lawsuit against them for racial inequality or racial something to that effect. She filed a civil suit, so she got no leeway with them. And she tried to go and get a task force together, and they shot her down. So then she like, we can't get nothing. We getting shut down before we get started. So her team like, is there somebody else you can talk to try to get this? Because New York saying they ain't dealing with it. And according to them, Tommy is dead. They ain't looking for him no more. So she catches this lady. I forgot who the lady is. And she tried to have a conversation with the lady, and the lady was like, it's nothing I can do. Like, you done pissed off the Chicago PD, and it's like you want us to go back and ask them to help you get a task force after you are, like, they not going to be taken to court via lawsuit by you and also come to your aid with a task force. It don't work like that. So Stacy says, well, it's some major players in this, and it's all looped in with Serbians and all this, and I'm thinking we can get the Mexican cartel on this. Like, we get a task force, we're going to be taking down a lot of people. And so that piques this lady's, whoever she is, interest. And she like, you see what you can get on there, and I'm going to do what I can do over here. So she like, all right, bet. So she gonna try to do whatever she can do to build a case against Tommy and see if she can get it into the cartel or whatever. I'm like, you playing a dangerous game, lady. So that happens. And then at some point we see her and that same detective in the car together. And he says the same thing as far as her with this task force she trying to get. Like, how you think that they're going to help you when you got a lawsuit against them? So they ride down the street. He gets a phone call. And he like, dang, I got to take you back. I got to drop you back off and go. And he drops her off. And he gets called to the scene of another crime. We see Tommy sitting in his car eating something. And as he's sitting there, we see a mother and her two kids walking down the street with a shopping cart of stuff. Here comes another car gliding down the street, roll the window down, and shoots at Tommy. We hear the lady scream when it's all over. Her child then got caught in the crossfire. It was a girl. And Tommy didn't get hit at all this time, but the girl is gone. And that's the crime scene the detective gets called to. And he's hurt, he upset about it, that this young life is now gone. And I'm like, oh, for one, this child didn't have to die. Because had that boy listened to Jannard called it off. And you still took upon yourself to go out there and ride for Chewy. And you don't know who you effing with. But I digress. We see Walter is outside the precinct when Vic is released and he comes outside. He's trying to walk away from Walter, and Walter talks to him and says, son, I apologize. So he admitted that it's him. He did what he did, and that's how Gloria ended up dying. So Vic knows that it was his father that set it up, and Gloria ended up getting killed. To atone for that, to make amends for it, he takes the project that he gave to Claudia with the pills and gives it to Vic. And Vic was like, all right, I'll take it. I'm going to do what I got to do. So Walter all happy and all that, thinking he finally got Vic to get his mind clear and do what he need to do. We see Vic outside the cemetery, drinking, talking. Like, I know you looking down at me and this and that and so forth. But I feel like the best way to take him out is to work for him and get on the inside and gut him from the inside. And he showed a grave marker in the tombstone. In his Gloria. Vic is only agreeing to work for his father because he got in his mind that he won't be able to take his father down from the inside. Okay, Vic, if you say so. If you say so. We see some men driving his truck. No, first, we see some men standing outside of what appears to be like an industrial building park or something. Some people come from behind, slit their throats. It's Tommy, Jannard, and some dark-skinned guy. I don't even recognize what the dark-skinned guy is. So they go with the stuff, go pull up into this parking garage where some other people waiting, and they have a shootout with them, and they rob them and take the drugs. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn that Miguel told Diamond that they got issues with the Serbs because they basically doing the same stuff or whatever, and they got issues with the pipeline and or something like that. So they beefing, they don't work together. But I get it now. I get it now that I'm talking about it. Tommy and them shot those guys up and took the drugs and the money or whatever was on that truck. They took everything. and left the Serbs' bodies there to make it seem like the Serbs did this. And the people they robbed was Miguel. And because Miguel looking at it like Tommy saved his life earlier that day, he ain't gonna think that it was Tommy who set this up and robbed him. That's what his whole plan was. And because he did say they gonna be fighting each other and we just gonna swoop on in and take over everything. Remember he said that like at the end of last week episode, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what happened there. So now we got all this infighting. We see at some point Janard goes to the boxing ring, and whatever that girl name is, she told Janard he got to be careful because some people not taking too kindly to Chewie getting murdered and him not doing nothing about it. Like, look forward to somebody testing them. And then she like, all right, so what you want to eat tonight? Because I ain't cooking. And he lays her down on the desk and he starts to eat, if you know what I mean. I said, also, Janard and this girl really do like each other. She gave him some money. He told her thanks for always having his back when it comes to helping him out with this Miguel stuff. Like, she always giving him the money to make sure. I don't know how she making her money and getting her money so in a way that she can take care of herself and still be there for him when he needed. I don't know how she doing it. But she doing it, though. And that's basically... No, that ain't it. Walter took what he promised to Claudia and gave it to Vic. Claudia goes to his study and comes in there and confronts him about it. And was like, you know he ain't got the balls to do this. And misogynistic Walter. And that's just it, sweetheart. You ain't got the balls. And just because Vic is a man, he wants Vic to do this instead of Claudia. And he also trying to do whatever he can do to pull Vic back into the family and everything too. And it's also mostly the misogyny. That they don't think that the woman can run nothing and be in control. Women can do it just as good as men. Look at what's that lady name that they made Blanca? Ain't that her name? The lady from Griselda. Griselda is her name Griselda Blanco? They made a TV show about her, like on one of them streaming services. Queen of the South is about her. That's the name of the show. Never watched it, but Queen of the South is about her. Yeah. So that's basically it. Walter using his kids as pawns. He don't give a fuck about his kids. As much as he try to say he about family and loyalty, he don't give a fuck about his kids. Because why would you even put your child in a position to go and take over somebody else's territory? You setting them up to get murdered. You know, excuse me if y'all heard that. I belched. But yeah. And that was basically force. There's consequences for everything. Consequences for everything. And we about to see just how much in these coming episodes. It's still some people who say that they bored by force. They still ain't, it ain't meaty enough. I think some of the stuff in there is corny. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But I'm invested at this point, so I'm just gonna keep watching it and seeing what it gives. Cause I made sure he mentioned too that that Diamond and them black backdoored him and went down there to Indiana and got to deal with cousin Buddy and all that. Like he mentioned that too when him and Diamond was having that conversation. But yeah. How much do y'all think that by season's end, if Janard don't die, he gonna see the error of his ways and CBI gonna once again be the brothers with Tommy? I think they're gonna end up making up. I think that um the infighting with the Flynns is gonna tear them to pieces. That's what I think. Cause Claudia greedy. She pissed off and she resenting her father for giving her things and then taking away and always making it look like Vic need to be the one in charge and the one to do this and do that. And like she said, he ain't even got the balls to do the job, but you want to keep putting him in charge because he's just son, you know. So the infighting with that, her resentment towards Walter for that. Vic ain't over the fact that Walter got Gloria killed, and we saw that with that cemetery scene. So them two gonna keep on fighting. I wonder how long it's gonna take before Miguel realizes that it was Tommy who put the Serbs there and took his stuff, and not the Serbs themselves, for real. So when Miguel find that out, what's gonna happen with that too? Do y'all think we going that all of that stuff going all of it gonna play out and we gonna get a resolve to that or something by season's end or no? Tell me what y'all think about Tommy so far. And I see y'all in the next video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know it seemed to me, I feel like I was talking for a long time. And that it seems like it's all over the place. But I tried to keep each character with their story in this whole, because there's so many storylines going on right now. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. Don't forget to give me a like and tell me in the comments what you think gonna happen. If you feeling forced or not, just let me know. Just let me know your thoughts about the series as a whole, the writing and the storyline for season 2 thus far. Tell me what y'all thoughts are, because I know it can't just be me, and I want to hear. I want to hear what other people think. And if I'm like, because you might have a point of view that I haven't come to yet. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, I look at their reviews, and when they put things together and say things, I just be like, dang, I didn't even think about that. Like, they sit back and they ponder and they think of a way bigger picture than I thought of. You know what I mean? Or they see something in a different way than I see it. But, yeah, I see y'all the next time. Peace.